Hey, hello everybody. Dan John here from danjohnuniversity.com. I want to talk about something very simple today. I'm going to keep it short and brief, but I have a point to make. I feel like a lot of people in the industry, we're turning fitness, health, longevity, obviously performance has been that way, and certainly body composition this way. There's a great TV series called White Lotus, and I feel like we're turning fitness, especially health, all these things into White Lotus kinds of things. In other words, I feel we're getting a little bit that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Obviously, the best thing you can possibly do is in your youth, make a commitment to going to the dentist, flossing your teeth, getting your vaccinations, eating vegetables, doing everything you can to stay away from obesity, avoid alcohol, avoid drugs, everything your mom told you, and she was right. But what's happening now is that we're getting to the point that, and I see it everywhere. In fact, even politicians and especially certain commentators, usually from one side of the aisle, are starting to push things like, tanning the privatest areas of your body. I mean, even more private than the private areas. Having infrared things on you the whole time you're speaking or working. And that's all fine. There's some new drugs out. I guess we're supposed to now call obesity a disease because there are drugs now that can cure it. But then you look at the price tag on these drugs and they're $1,300 a month. A month. That's a lot of money. I'm not picking on Tony Robbins. And the reason I picked Tony Robbins' book, Life Force, out is because throughout my career, I've found a lot of value in what Tony Robbins says. Now, some of the other biohackers, I think of a lot of them are just kind of one-trick ponies. And to be honest, if you do enough plastic surgery, in fact, there's a guy who hosted the Oscars a couple of years ago that he's unrecognizable now. There's certain very famous billionaires they don't even look anything like they did ever before. The plastic surgery, all the injections, all this stuff, that's great. I like this book, Life Force, except I hate it. Only I can say a sentence like that. Now, he quotes a lot of people I've got great respect for. I've got Walter Longo's book right over there, The Longevity Diet. I got Sinclair's book. I've got the other book, a lot of the books he comments on, and I've read a lot of the research from a lot of the people that are discussed in this book. I don't always agree with Dean Ornish. That's why I like the book Just Eat so much, because he talks about how difficult it is to do the Ornish diet, and it does come off a little bit. Many diet people start to get a little bit almost religious when they start talking about things after a while. But when I go through this book, I just get beaten down by the fact that, nanobots are going to help me with this. Or if I get a certain kind of intervention here with this one doctor in this one place in, Zurich or something like that. And the reason I'm kind of concerned about the biohacking, is that just like I always say to people, supplements supplement. You're not going to fix a terrible diet by popping down 2 fish oil capsules every night. Yeah, it certainly helps. But it's probably better to eat a better, good diet. So when I look at most of this book, what I see is a lot of the stuff is even tinier than supplements. Now I get it. There is some great information in this book. About Parkinson's and some other diseases, hand trembling, which has been ignored by a lot of people. I was very impressed by that. Cancer fighting, though, Longo's longevity diet, where he talks about just doing those 5 days of fast mimicking diet. But there's a line in this book that I like a lot, and it's on page 290. He says this: "These 3 simple moves, eating healthily, exercising regularly, and fasting intermittently, work wonders." I got nothing against Tony Robbins. He's been very helpful for me. In fact, he got me off the the floor at least once in my career for sure, and I would say twice by his the Edge series that he had was just really helped me a lot, and I took that very seriously. In fact, I'm still reaping the benefits of it almost 2 decades later. It'd be 2004, I think, when I got it. But the bulk of what's going to help you folks, and I can't make a living off of this, eat healthy, exercise often. I love the idea of 3 by 52, 3 times a week, 52 weeks a year. I do 6 times 52. I'm not trying to one-up you, but I do something every day. And then fast appropriately. If you're in a religious tradition, follow the religious tradition's fasting. If not, do like I do between, I stop eating every night at this thing I invented called dinner, and then I sleep all night. I start my day with coffee. Now some say that's not fasting, but leave me alone. And then I don't eat until after I exercise every day, which makes me want to exercise earlier and earlier some days. If you toss in eat healthy, fast occasionally, exercise regularly, and just sleep soundly, that's the bulk of things, folks. That's the bulk of it. I'm not ripping on Tony Robbins. I'm not ripping on the biohackers. My point is this: the very simple solutions are often the best solutions. I hope that helped. I'm Dan John from danjohnuniversity.com.